Hello, my name is Orifanam Clinton and this is my prog POE project for part 1. Right now I'm going to be walking you through my project, explaining certain parts of code in each class. First, we'll be starting with the start point of our program, program.cs. We can see that program.cs is very minimal. It is responsible for coordinating the startup sequence in the correct order. When the application launches, the first thing it does is place the WAV file as displayed here, and then it displays the ASCII logo. Then it starts the chatbot, which asks you for your username, which you can see here through chatbot. It goes to new chatbot, and here bot.start. For the program.cs is very minimal because it's just the starting point of a program. Now we're moving on to the voicegreeting.cs class. This class is responsible for handling the audio when the application is start up. I used system.media.soundplayer, which is a built-in .NET class, which means that no extra libraries are needed. I also used path.combine and appdomain.currentDomain.base directory to build the path to the WAV file. This means the path is dynamic. That also means that the file path works correctly regardless of where on the machine the project is running from. Play.sync is used instead of play, so the program waits for the greeting to finish before moving on to the logo. I also wrapped up everything in a try-catch block, so that if the WAV file is missing or is unable to be accessed for whatever reason, the application still starts cleanly and just prints out a warning message instead of crashing. Now we move on to input_validator.cs. This class is responsible for validating the user's input, and it is comprised of two methods, which are isValid, which checks that the input from the user is not empty and that there are at least 2 characters in length. If it fails either checks, it prints out a warning and returns false. So the loop continues without processing, and it displays a message that it didn't catch that. Please try something. If either inputs are false. And here we have getUsername. This method used to loop until the user provides a valid name, or reprompting if they just press enter or type a single character. Moving on to the responseEngine.cs class. This class is responsible for storing all of the responses in a static directory. The directory uses string comparer.ordinile ignore case, so that the capitalization is completely ignored when matching. The user can type password in all caps or no caps and get the same response. They get the same response for any one of the options they may select, from password safety, phishing, safe browsing, malware, privacy, social engineering, and 2FA. The getResponse method uses index of rather than an exact key match. This means the user doesn't have to type a keyword exactly. They can just type a full sentence like "tell me about fishing," and the engine will find the word fishing inside it and return the correct response. Now we move on to the UI.cs class. This class is responsible for all of the visuals in our application and project. It is made up of 4 components: the color helper method, the divider method, the ASCII art logo, and the typing effect. When the application is ran, it clears the screen and displays the ASCII art logo using box drawing characters. I set the console color to green before printing it, as we can see right here. Then it resets afterward so that the color doesn't leak into the rest of the output. One of my favorite features in this code is the typing effect. Instead of typing all of the characters at once, I used type text loops through each character in the string and prints it one at a time with a thread.sleep delay between each character. This stimulates a conversational feeling, as if the bot is actually thinking and responding in real time to your inputs. Now we move on to chatbot.cs. This class is the heart of our application. It controls the flow of the entire conversation from the moment the user enters their name to the moment they type exit to leave the application. GetUser method starts by printing welcome header, then it calls input validator. Validator.getUsername to capture the user's name. The name is immediately passed to a new user profile object, which it stores and sets the session start time. Then it greets the user using their formatted name and the time of day greeting from the user profile properties. The main loop runs indefinitely using a while true loop. Each iteration, it prints the user's name as a prompt, reads their inputs, checks if it's an exit command, validates it, then passes it to the response engine to get a proper response. If the response engine returns a match, response is printed using the typing effect. But if it returns null, the bot gives some friendly feedback to the user in the form of this type of message that it does not understand what the user was trying to input. When the user exits, the farewell method uses the message count and session duration automatic properties to print a personalized goodbye, telling the user how many messages they sent and how long their session lasted. Now let's run our program. Note I'm using Visual Studio Code due to some unknown errors on my Visual Studio. My code still works in Visual Studio, just that it can be displayed as how it is being displayed here in Visual Studio Code. So let's run it.
Hello, I am Liam, your cybersecurity awareness bot. I'm here to help you stay safe in the digital world.
As you just saw, When the application was run, it first started by playing the audio before displaying anything else. And when it started running, it then displayed our ASCII artwork. It displayed some messages to welcome the user and to introduce itself. I am Liam, your cybersecurity awareness bot. I'm here to help you stay safe in the digital world. Now, let's run it. Let's test out its loops. If I enter no characters, let's see what happens. Now see, it needs an input, and that input needs to have at least 2 characters. Let's see what happens if we add just 1 character. There's still an error and it loops back. Let's provide a valid input. And through the use of the typing effect, it simulates actual typing to make the user think that it is talking to a real person on the other side or communicating with them. Now it gives us an option, a recommendation. Let's see what happens when we type help. Yeah, when we typed help, it gave us the topics we can ask it about for tips on how to stay safe when exploring the internet or the digital world. Let's check password. What type of information does it have? Okay, use at least 12 characters, mixed letters, numbers and symbols. Never use the same password across sites. Use a trusted password manager like Bitwarden and 1Password. Avoid obvious choices like password 123 and your name. Change passwords immediately if a breach is suspected. This is some very helpful tips to help someone stay safe. Now, let's go to phishing. Phishing awareness. Phishing emails pretend to be from trusted sources to steal your information. Look for misspelled domains like Amazon.com. Never click suspicious links. Hover over them to check their URL passwords. Legitimate organizations never ask for your password via email. When in doubt, contact your sender. Now let's go to safe browsing. Data privacy tips. Read app permission before installing. Does a touch do a torch applicate? Read your contacts. Limit personal information on social media. Regularly review and revoke access to your account. Use private. Okay, now let's finish it off. 2FA, two-factor authentication. Two-factor authentication adds a security verification step beyond your password. Use an authentication app, Google Authenticator, rather than SMS. Yeah, as you can see, it is able to provide you with helpful tips to keep you safe in the internet, to prevent you from getting hacked or having your machine be infected by viruses or malware. Now let's exit this application and see what happens. You can see here it gives us a short message bidding us farewell from it, and it also displays that we sent 7 messages in this session and how long this session lasted for, which is 6 minutes. That was my presentation for my POE Part 1 assignment. Thank you for watching.